Okay, everyone, welcome to Goom and Dloom, the March Dadness fan podcast. Finally got it right the first time.
The first time, the last time?
Yes. So we're just going to go over what happened in the end because it was over and it wasn't that surprising. But I'm going to go over the results and then we're going to do and talk about what our favorite memory was and just go over just a quick reflection. Probably won't be too long, but yeah, still I'm looking forward to this. The first matchup we have was TBS Taking Back Sunday against Newfound Glory Newfound Glory, we're better off and you're dead. Taking Back Sunday won that relatively easily. I'm just going to go through the quick results because we can talk about each individual matchup. The next one was the Fatal Three-Way, as Dylan called it, or the Triple Threat match, as everybody else would call it. It was Fall Out Boy, Motion City Soundtrack, and Thrice. And I said Fall Out Boy, but it was more like Fall Out of the Tournament Boy. And Motion City Soundtrack, you seem to lose when you're around. That was my favorite band of the tournament, so yeah.
Oh. Can I make a Motion City Soundtrack comment?
Yeah.
Okay. I was running around town on Sunday, going to the grocery store. I had to go to CVS to get some medicine before I was driving out here. And a Motion City Soundtrack song came on my shuffle on Spotify because I'd finished an album. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, I like this. Who is it? And it was Motion City Soundtrack. Nice. So I haven't said that before because before I was like, I don't get it. But
that's all it takes.
I enjoyed a song. So
won't convert you yet.
I concede.
So, yes,
what song was it? Do you remember?
Yeah.
I would have to look. It was on an album that was kind of orangey and black looking.
Okay.
My icon is really small on my car, so
that would be
I couldn't really see it.
It'd be
Everything is all right.
Sorry, technical difficulties, but yeah, Everything is All Right was on Commit This to Memory. Great album. That's what the songs. So yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Good to hear. Then the next album, or the next, was obviously Thrice versus Taking Back Sunday, and Taking Back Sunday made Thrice the artist in the ambulance.
All right.
Finally.
All right.
Jesus.
So Taking Back Sunday, we know what you do. You win tournaments. Or we know how you... Is it how you do? We know how you do. Yeah, we know how you do. You win tournaments. So.
It's true.
Finish my puns. 69 puns.
They were great.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah. I guess we'll start. I mean, Taking Back Sunday to Found Glory, that was easy. That was expected. Yeah. And then, but I called the Triple Threat match. I absolutely did. Because
you did.
Yeah.
All credit to you. You did.
The one thing I was surprised about was Fall Out Boy playing Spoiler to Motion City Soundtrack and not the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, so I only listened. I was only able to listen to a part of the podcast because it was when I was driving home last week, and so I missed it. Did they give the breakdown?
It was Motion City lost by 9 votes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Fall Out Boy was the spoiler in that situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I voted for Fall Out Boy because I didn't like that Motion.
I voted for Motion City.
Oh no! Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, 5 people would have gone against Thrice. We would have had Thrice versus Taking Back Sunday would have been probably more interesting than Taking Back Sunday and Thrice. Or Motion Soundtrack Taking Back Sunday would have been probably more interesting. Apologize, we had another break. My internet's really bad today. It's spot and starting. You're going to see edit points. But yeah, so yeah, just I think Motion would have taken votes off of Taking Back Sunday that Newfound Glory didn't do. So that's my opinion. I don't know if everybody agrees with that.
I mean, I think Taking Back Sunday would have won no matter who they were up against of those 3.
Or anybody in the tournament, I think, because that song was boring, as Dylan said. I think that was what I was pointing before my internet died.
What song was boring?
It wasn't a boring song. It was a boring choice. It was one of the more popular Taking Back Sunday songs off their most popular album.
I feel like that was the right choice. I'm actually really happy about it, to be honest.
I don't even like the song, and I don't agree with that.
Okay. But yeah, we obviously have a new person, Craig. He He's joining us. We're going to ask him his favorite moment of the tournament. If you followed around March Dadness. And he's quarantined in New Zealand right now. He's in a hotel. So
that's accurate.
How's hotel life?
What do you think about March Dadness?
Yeah, what was your opinion of March Dadness?
Look, I'm pretty stoked that it ended, to be totally honest.
I think that might be a not
as soon as Hot Water Music were kicked out early on, I was just like, not
they were never even in.
They weren't even in. Yeah.
I know, they didn't even make like the pre.
They didn't even make the losers bracket, which was insane.
Exactly. It was just
Agree.
Yeah, they brought in Hit the Lights, but not Hot Water Music.
Like, hard veto on that. Sports also.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was pretty cool seeing you all get worked up about it, which was great.
I like getting worked up about things that don't matter. I mean, it's better than getting worked up about things that do.
That's right.
Yeah.
Look, when me and Thrice go way back, so I'll be honest, that was where my loyalties lay. But
Nice.
I'm used to getting disappointed by my heroes.
Would you say you had an illusion of safety in Thrice?
Yeah, exactly.
No, they did much better than I thought they were going to do. I thought
Ryan was done with the puns.
I never said I was done with the puns. I said I made 69 puns for 69 bands. Or one pun per band.
Now.
So now these are just, yeah.
They're just freestyle.
Yeah, no, I guess we could just use that to get to the final points of this, because it's going to kind of be, there's not a whole lot to talk about. The tournament itself was a blast. I don't mind the cover as much as I complained about it. It's still a decent song, or a good song by a good band. It'll be an interesting cover. And I think the whole thing was a blast. They did a really good job choosing songs. They had a lot of engagement, a lot of argument, which I thought was hilarious.
I also thought it was hilarious.
Like, I never really got mad, except for when Treos almost beat Avril Lavigne. That's only because they almost beat Avril Lavigne. But other than that, my favorite stuff was, again, we talked about like discovering new bands and just seeing how excited everybody was getting. Outside of the puns. The puns were actually my favorite part. Yeah.
I was constantly angry, and this whole thing was horrible.
I thought it was really fun to alternately embrace somebody when they had an opinion I agreed with, and then cancel them when they had a terrible opinion.
Oh yeah, that's Nate and I.
I feel like I did that to Philly Pete a couple of times. Like, okay, yeah, Pete, you're great. I love you. I'm like, Pete, that's a terrible take.
Nate and I were Team Armor for Sleep, and then he would talk about any other band. It's just like,
no. He didn't like the Jello sound. Canceled.
Yeah.
Wait, did I not like it? I didn't like the Jello.
You didn't like Jello sound
I
either.
know, and I would be like, Eric,
sorry.
But then we would talk about the starting line, and I would love you again. So it was fun.
Well, I'm generally relatively easy to please when it comes to music. I like music. I know a lot of people here they say they like music, but they also like to hate music. Outside of 3 or 4 bands, I genuinely liked all the music they picked. I didn't think there was a single song I didn't like, and if someone put it on, wouldn't mind listening to. So, I know people have their opinions about other bands, but for me, I like the stuff that I'd heard before, and I like the new stuff, and I was very happy with how it went outside of Avril Lavigne being Treos, but that's a different story. But yeah, it was just kind of fun to go back and
The thing is, I get happy to see other people happy. So I hated that Hello Goodbye song. I couldn't even listen to it. I had to turn it off.
I liked that one.
But when Dylan covered it on the live stream and I saw how happy
it was so good.
It was so good.
Just
it was one of his 2 good covers that day.
This is great. This is so much fun because now I know more about what people like and what gets people psyched.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like it, that's fine. It doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
It just means it's not for me.
If I don't like it,
go ahead, Craig. We gotta give the guest the floor.
Sorry.
Oh, I don't care. I just had to become really okay with having shit taste in music.
Okay.
That's right.
And I'm fine with that.
I like a lot of things that are not I don't know what is objective good. It doesn't exist. But
my least favorite thing. My least favorite thing that happened.
Culture.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry.
We were each trying. I was just gonna say we are a subculture who by definition is like less, objective good music, because only so many people like it versus pop music. So
well, I'm going to argue we have more objectively good music available to us to listen to than we've ever had before. It's just we don't like, or we're very set in our ways, because especially our generation and generations prior to us. I think the newer generations are into a lot more music, like quality music, and not just like the big stuff from that. So instead of so I think like, and I don't like their music, but I'm an old person, so like their music's probably objectively good, but I just don't like it, and that's fine. Like I don't get Billie Eilish. She seems like she's great. Don't get her.
Who?
Billie Eilish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm very old and I'm also deaf, so
but no.
Yourself.
We're so driven by nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm fine with that. Like, yeah, I peaked when I was 15. Whatever.
Cool. I was like 20, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but we were talking about like
8.
how we got into the era prior to recording, and I think it was interesting is like I don't really associate with this with nostalgia, mostly because I'm still listening to this stuff. Like this is not nostalgia for me. This is just what I currently listen to. So
that was weird because I still listen to like Alkaline Trio and Against Me and a lot of those bands, Loved Ones. I put on Loved Ones whenever I want to feel psyched. Whenever I want to feel psyched, I put on that record along with a couple other ones. Treos is one of my most listened to records. Armor for Sleep, same thing. I just like, so there's a lot of these, but then there's bands like The Forecast, and who I only listen to a little bit. But I can't forget Thrice. That era of Thrice I don't listen to anymore. I listen to Vishu. I put on Vishu every once in a while, but I haven't put Artist in the Ambulance on in 5 years. Outside the occasional, just want to go through and not pay attention and have like Thrice screaming in my ear. But like
there were a lot of bands that I was nostalgic for that weren't even like considered. Like we talked about how our music. Like another one I've been listening to a lot lately is No More Black.
Oh, they're great.
And they're a driving band for me. Like Weather Sensor and Windows Down, like that's absolutely a band to listen to. And anyway, so it's just fan of things is so.
I definitely think a big part of it for me was like so much of that time in my life was kind of defined by, will this band ever potentially come to New Zealand? Just not being exposed to so many of these bands because they were opening for someone on a tour or whoever it was. Whereas, like, Against Me did come to New Zealand like half a dozen times in my 20s, and that was great. Or even, earlier. And there was just kind of that those bands that were like, we exist down here, and then the ones that could never afford to come down, and that was
exactly, fine. You had to get to a certain size in order to afford
you have to get to a certain level of success that somebody will like bring you on a tour,
exactly,
where you can take other people on a tour,
like,
that's, across the whole world.
And the converse part of that is like the bigger of the kind of touring bands in the US, they'd come to New Zealand and still pay for 30, 40 people, and that would be
really
killer. Like,
that's kind of cool.
That's great.
I mean,
it's cool for the fans, not for the band.
Well, the band had a guarantee.
30 hours and pay for 10 idiots.
Oh my god. Well, and now I'm like, I want to see the Bats. I want them to come to the US.
Who? The Bats?
The Bats.
Yeah.
Great.
And they have
the Bets. Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah.
I have hearing issues apparently too. The Bets are great. Yeah, their album last year was fantastic.
They played a show last night. Like it's a thing that's.
They've been playing lots of shows. I've been following their socials, and I'm very jealous about it.
Yeah. I was in New Zealand last year, kind of at the very start of the pandemic, and caught their album release show in Auckland with like 50, like maybe 500 people when the whole rest of the world was locked down. And we just had to get it.
They did a show at like Town Hall, in Auckland, like mid pandemic for us, that they streamed, and you could buy tickets through Bandcamp, and I watched that one and like had lots of feels about seeing like a full crowd of people smushed against each other, and was like, I'm jealous and also terrified and jealous.
We're all going to be in this like the first show you'll go back to and people aren't wearing masks or whatever, just like away from me.
Even just thinking about it gives me heart palpitations, but like we'll figure it out. It's gonna take.
I kind of think it's going to be more seamless than people give it credit for now. Like now that I've like now on the other side, now as a vaccinated person, humble brag, it definitely.
Oh, I've been vaccinated since January, and I still get nervous. I think like
Stupid vaccinated people.
I'm like 6 months away.
I'm about probably May. I'll have both of them. Or if there's one, it'll be April. So.
Brian, I think it's going to happen faster than that. Like in Baltimore or in Maryland, it went from like nobody could get appointments and very small groups were eligible to like this week, literally every single person that I know.
Yeah, I've gotten 3 emails this week.
Yeah.
Already.
Okay, that's what I'm hoping. Also, like, well, I don't want to drive down to Los Angeles for a vaccine. I just don't. I'll wait a week or two.
Yeah. That's fine.
But, I don't know.
Well, I was gonna make a comment about the stuff will be more seamless than we think going back. I think that that's true. I had like a ton of anxiety about going back in the clinic because like I hadn't worked in person from March of last year until February of this year, and it was like 2 weeks after my second vaccine that I went back into the clinic, and I was very nervous, and I like bought N95 masks and was like, whoa, even though I was vaccinated, I was very nervous. And like, this week, a couple weeks later, like I have a surgical mask, but I don't wear it when I'm in my office. Like I wear it if I'm going to the bathroom or like going to talk to somebody, but otherwise I don't, because everybody's vaccinated. And that's a relatively quick change when you look at like the scope of a year where we were.
It will be something very briefly, and then it will be nothing.
Yeah. It's weird to think about, though.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not even thinking about travel. I'm gonna get my vaccine in probably, like I said, April or May, and I'm not even thinking about traveling till the fall because I just worry. I just want things to get back to somewhat normal and me not have to worry about giving someone else a vaccine or the COVID or anything like that. So, yeah.
Well, Craig's gonna be in normal in what, like 10 days?
12 and a half.
12 and a half. Oh, you have to do 14.
Yeah.
I didn't know if
it's
I
14
didn't
days.
know if they were still doing like full 14 days or had moved it shorter.
Yeah, no, it's 14 still. There've been a few cases of like in the building I'm in, so
Really?
still locking it down pretty tight. But yeah, in the community there is no COVID, and so no need to vaccinate. So
That's astounding.
delayed here, and then when I'm back in Sweden, they're running like the rest of Europe, which is kind of behind. So it might be July, August, who knows?
Yeah. So what do they do? Like, are they bringing you meals or something, or like what do they do?
So I'm literally in these 4 walls for the next 12 and a half days. I can go, there's like a roof that I can grab a slot and go hang out on the roof.
Okay.
Places I can kind of go exercise, stuff like that. But yeah, 3 meals a day in the room.
Wow.
Pretty comfy bed.
Nice.
I mean, so you're gonna Zoom with us like anytime there's a Zoom because
Literally,
you're like, people. Oh my god.
Hi.
So what time is it? Is it like 10 in the morning?
2 p.m.
Nice.
2 p.m.
So you're 4 hours behind / ahead of me.
Tomorrow, yeah.
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 So yeah.
It's Wednesday, 2 p.m. Okay.
No, that's just how my brain will subtract 4 hours instead of adding 20. That makes a lot more sense. Adding 20 and then subtracting again. Yeah. I guess to get a little bit back on
Yeah,
topic.
sorry. I mean,
you're fine.
you're just like pretending we're the other podcast.
You're
now.
fine. No.
Let's just record us talking.
For 2 more hours. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I just like I said, this has been a lot of fun. I know Dylan and Jess weren't always the happiest people. I think that they were trying to please too many people rather than just doing what they wanted the fuck to do. You say that, but
I don't know.
I don't know.
They do what they want.
Yeah, but they got upset when people got upset at them. And they got upset at the person. They just got upset. And
some people were kind of dicks.
Oh, absolutely. People. Well, not some. There were a lot of people that were dicks.
I was a dick.
Yeah. I tried not to be for the most part because it was a lot of fun, and like I said, they did a really good job choosing a very, very eclectic mix of songs. Were there other bands I wish they could have been on there? Yeah, I've mentioned Billy Talent before. That's one band that hasn't been mentioned much, but they were in that era. They were popular, and they kind of fit in with that. And no one mentions them, but they're amazing. But at the end of the day, lot of pop, a lot of punk, a lot of stuff in between, and it really fit in with the era. And I think they did a fantastic job with everything. So I'm really happy. I wish they would do this again, but without having the pressure of having a cover song, just to see people argue about different bands. So do the next 10
Wait,
years.
you just want us to get angry
Yes!
and not get a cover out of it?
We can do that anyway.
Do the next 10 years of punk rock. Do like Orgcore for the next 10 years. So like the Menzingers and Wonder. You can throw Wonder Years in there, and Polar Bear Club, and Make Do and Mend, Title Fight, and
It's me, the good stuff.
yeah, and just watch
this
people.
was like the era in which I listened to new music until like 2006, and then I went to grad school and like had tunnel vision.
See,
And then I moved across the country and had my first job, and then moved across the country again and had babies, and then so I like 2006 until 2020. I just listened to like all the same stuff that I listened to from 1999 to 2006.
Yeah,
so, I missed the whole era.
Keep mentioning like being kind of like stuck in this era, but like that next era is where I'm stuck.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
Where that's my majority of what I listen to still to this day.
Same. And I think that would be fun, especially because
It'd be fun because I want to hear what everybody likes.
When that one,
I would get way more. I would get way too emotional about that one. I don't think I could handle that.
It's kind of spread out too, because you have the Philadelphia bands.
I don't.
Tiger's Jaw, Menzingers, Modern Baseball, Wonder Years. There's other bands. You might put Title Fight there, but you might put them in the post. Hop along. Cayetana, Lemuria, like, and then you have like your post-hardcore section, and like you would have like you can do like sections that are very specific that aren't region-based, and like watching like me having to argue like pianos or argue Touche Amore versus Pianos Become the Teeth versus Late Era Thursday versus like just would be insane and so much fun, and also would tear me apart. Because like
all my favorite bands would get eliminated early again.
Absolutely,
so I don't want to go through this.
I don't think I want to
cover out of it.
No, Crispy, your favorite band, one of your favorite bands might win because you're a Wonder Years boy. You're a Wonder Years fan.
Yeah, I mean that's actually true. But if they didn't win, I'd be heartbroken. But like, I like a lot of the like DIY music from that era. So like, I'd be really like rooting for bands like Algernon Cadwallader and like Snowing.
Well, you would have like an emo
Spray
section.
Nerd.
Yeah, Spray Nerd. Well, yeah, you'd have an emo section with Spray Nerd and Algernon Cadwallader and that era of like the revival.
I mean, okay, like if I could curate this, I'd be okay with this.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun because that's it. I think a lot of us that's kind
how
of
everybody.
Yeah. We
The
can
takeaway from the tournament
microwave,
is that
fireworks.
we personally can curate it to our own taste.
Oh,
Great.
so I have these long drives, or I had a long drive out here, right? And I have been having long drives for work and back home. And so what I've been doing is like I've been messaging like Jess and Haley and being like, okay, I have this long drive. I'm starting off with this album. Like, tell me what I should listen to next. Because they did not miss the years of 2006 to 2020. And they just gave me Microwave the other day. And I really enjoyed that. I was like,
I've never been able to get into them.
I think it would be fun for like, I think it'd be fun if everybody sort of made their own like mini bracket, like just do like 8 down to 1.
That's what I'm more interested in.
That would hurt.
Individualized.
That would hurt.
Yeah,
We talked about doing one band bracket. So like
and do their songs.
Yeah.
That'd be fun too.
And then the winner of all of them.
And the winner of each of them against each other.
Yeah.
Then like the super bracket.
Ooh.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's like the next year, right?
Yeah.
Brian, you want to do it?
Part of me says yes, and part of me does not want to argue Polar Bear Club versus freaking Touche Amore versus Jimmy Eat World versus all these bands that have meant so much to me that had good stuff in that era. So yeah. So part of me says no, I don't want to have to choose.
Jimmy Eat World to me is a 1999 to 2006 band.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
listened to
The
Jimmy.
only
I don't
problem-
know when did Chase This Light come out?
Chase This Light was that
07.
07.
07.
But you also,
So that was the last one.
I never listened to that album.
what was the one
because-
after that? Because the one after that was probably my third favorite Jimmy Eat World album.
I also like stopped having music friends because I went to grad school and I had physics friends.
Yeah,
right?
2006 was the biggest year for. I would say that's probably the most important year.
Invented came out in 2010. That one is awesome. But yeah,
I need
no.
to, like, maybe that'll be my next drive as I listen to all the Jimmy Eat World that I.
Well, my favorite Alexis on Fire album came out in that era. So I don't know. It just like that era is like huge because it was like when I got into college, and that's when I stopped listening to the radio. Essentially, that's when I started to like just go to the record store. I was within the 10-minute walk of the best record store in Louisville, one of the best record stores in the entire Southeast. So
yeah, 2006 was definitely a pivot point.
Yeah.
So that's turned 18, and so.
Right? Wasn't there
usually
that
pretty
like Twitter
significant.
meme that was like the music you listen to when you turn 18 is like forever your favorite music? And like that absolutely holds true for me.
Yeah. Yep.
So apparently it's actually 30.
yeah.
30!
30 is when you actually stop listening to music.
Okay, so
That's when I started listening to Screamo.
good point. When I was 30, I just listened to the music I did when I was 18. So that's my
There you go.
first point.
Yeah.
My second point is I have listened to more, and honestly, maybe this wouldn't have happened without the pandemic, but like, and probably it wouldn't have. I have listened to more new music in the past month than I listened to from the entire period of 2006 to 2020.
You haven't missed much, to be honest.
There's-
Most
there-
bands at the time
Yeah.
kind of sound. There's like 4 sounds. Don't worry about it.
There's like 6.
No, there's great new music coming out.
My point mostly was
I
that
will ride for new music always.
I mean, Kalimasi
Yeah,
came
but
out
that-
with one of the best albums of the year 2 weeks ago, and
that it's
That's
been
right.
so fun to
Portrayal of the
listen to
Guilt
new
may have released the album of the decade already this year, that's super heavy and super good. If not For Your Health, but a former Screamo, now alternative heavy band released a 17-minute just thrill ride that's just so freaking good. It would have been one of my favorites from last year, and last year had some amazing stuff on it. So, yeah, music's getting more interesting. Anybody who says it's getting boring is not
Well,
paying
now I have
attention.
music friends too. I'm very excited about that.
for sure. So, let's wrap this up. Maybe
I was gonna say Stallman's like I'm
final
hungry.
thought on the tournament. I was, biggest surprises maybe. One very big surprise for me was Kids beating Panic at the Disco.
Oh, yeah.
That I wanted to shout out. That was very surprising to me that I did not predict Thrice making it as far as it did.
That was gonna be mine.
That
Yeah.
was gonna be mine.
Actually, same bracket as those two. Jax beating AFI was huge.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
I expected that.
I was
You have
so
way
surprised
too
by
much
that.
theory. You have way too much faith in Jax Mannequin or Jax
Yeah.
I was
Jax
very
McMannequin. I'm
down
sorry,
on
I
this.
mispronounced it.
Jax McMahon.
Because he's fucking good.
Oh, he's incredible.
I was and still am very down on the AFI song choice, so that was not as surprising to me because it was not a song pick.
Also, Against Me beating Good Charlotte was a surprise to me. I thought people were going to go with the meme song for a little bit longer. I'm not saying it was.
Coheed was the
And
meme.
Charlotte could like disappear off the face of
Oh.
the earth, and I could never hear them again, and I would be just fine.
I would have been fine with that in 2003. So yes, my opinion has not changed about that band. Hello,
was
Goodbye. I now really like that band. Not at all.
I was kind of expecting one of the fandoms to get involved somehow. Like it leaked onto Twitter or some shit, and then we just get a whole bunch of new Patreon new members, and they're all voting fucking everyone.
I thought about
Something
putting
like that.
I thought about putting the bracket up
Yeah.
in the Menzingers Discord to see if we could get a bunch of Menzingers people to come in. But I decided they probably all voted for the starting line over Armor for Sleep, and I didn't want that to happen. And it's not really what happened. I just didn't really want to like invade the Menzingers Discord with this specifically. So that's actually what happened.
I mean, they got a lot of patrons out of this. I mean, they were
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
up over 700.
Oh, they were over 800
Talking about
for a second.
yeah.
I think it's like 770s or something
Yeah.
like that.
They're doing really
Question
well.
is, how many did they lose?
None.
I don't think
They lost.
any, because if you were like actually paying attention to it, even if you were mad, I think you were fake mad.
Well,
And-
there's a couple people I don't think were fake mad, but I was never that mad at anything. I was outside of Treos beating or losing to Avril Lavigne, and that has everything to do with how close it was. I keep saying that.
Guys, this starting line ordeal for this bracket has been a fucking ride. For
That
me.
was my favorite thing that actually happened. I made these other things. The fact that Snake's song choices in certain instances, not Snake's choice for Taking Back Sunday, that's whatever, but for some of the other ones, how insane they are, and him choosing Limbeck and Piebald over like bands that would have actually done better in the draft. Was actually insane.
Yeah, but he picked what he likes. I mean,
I
that
know,
makes
I know
sense
that.
to me. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
that
Travis is-
why wouldn't you
Travis
do
is
that?
crazy.
Well, because
We're
if
talking
you-
about doing this for ourselves.
if
Like,
you
that's
go-
exactly what he did.
If you go with
Like,
if you go the traditional scoring of the tournament, he got third or fourth in the traditional way you would score a bracket. The band won. The band had 3 Final 5 members, or 3 Final 4 if you take out Motion City Sound, or 2 Final 5. Sorry, two Final 5 members.
We're getting a little sportsy for this group.
Sorry. I'm just saying Snake got lucky he chose that Taking Back Sunday song, because the rest of his songs were not very strong.
He went with his heart, though.
He went with
like,
this, and he went. I think he mentioned this multiple times. He went with a lot of like the more popular bands. He went with like safe choices, and like Leaving is definitely a safe choice. Like it went a couple rounds. Like it makes sense. Like I don't hate that song. It's a good song. It's just not the song I would have chose as a fan of that band.
The thing that I thought was hilarious about that was, you know, we gave him so much shit for his song choice, and then he got the opportunity to like go with what he originally had said he would pick for TSL, and he went for a different song that also had 2 words the same word separated by the comma, but not the correct one.
I still think that was just a jab, probably personally at me.
Yeah.
Maybe Jess.
Yeah.
Or just all of you all, because this wasn't just 2 of you. There was a lot of people. One more thing that was surprising was I got homesick living in Santa Barbara when Dylan played Atari's and Sugar Cult back to back, and that shouldn't fucking happen because I live here. But it's just like I don't get to go anywhere. So like one of the songs was getting drunk down on Lower State Street, where all kinds of the assholes and douchebags go. But I've done that before with some Kristen's friends, and like I just miss like going out and drinking with people in Santa Barbara, and like so like he played those back to back, and I'm just like, oh, I'm here and I'm still homesick. So that was a big surprise to me as well.
Love when that happens.
Yeah. Anybody surprise for you, Crispy?
Rice, like this is, yeah. I don't know. Honestly, my favorite thing about this whole thing, biggest surprise was the losers bracket.
Oh yeah,
That shit was tight.
it was incredible.
Loved it.
The Motion City soundtrack.
I
was just
like that Motion City soundtrack got that second chance to
Yep.
try to get in there. So
Agreed.
I felt like I just wish that they had a little bit of a better song. I felt like they could have taken it with a better song.
I wish you would have done
the
Make Out.
song that I don't know, not Make Out Kids. So
I love Make Out
they
Kids.
should have gone full emo night and just did like Let's Get Fucked Up and Die.
They can't though.
Or Hold Me Down.
Like Hold Me Down actually I don't think is considered an emo night
They
song.
make the rules that they
Yeah.
can do what
Yeah.
they want.
They said no. They said no. LG Fuad, because LG Fuad would have probably beaten any song in the tournament against anything,
Yeah.
but maybe Cute Without the E, because that is
Like
one of those songs that you just listen to. You're like, okay, I'm gonna drink and have fun. So everyone would vote for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think what this tournament showed is that the song choice has a lot. You know, it was obviously huge in all of it because there could be bands that are very popular that, and I think there are counterexamples. Like for example, Newfound Glory made it pretty far. You know, with kind of 80 per song. But certainly, like the Taking
Talking about this a banger.
was a good song choice, and then also the
I-
Grace song was a great song choice. So
What were you
I
saying?
feel like that Newfound Glory song was definitely a name recognition. How far they got, how far they went. It's not the. I don't know. It's not the song I would have chose.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I guess
Only
in
Crazy,
general, the songs.
obviously. 'Cause that one ages really well.
I think the crazy thing is like throughout this whole Patreon thing, just how fucking consistently great all the covers have been, and how literally any of these songs I would have been stoked on a cover.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
the thing
Well
that
said.
I
Well
really,
said.
yeah, absolutely.
Not that
would
good
say.
Charlotte song, but yeah.
No, I'd be
Well,
into it.
They
made
would have
it
done.
over.
They would have done something. Yeah,
They would have done
it would have
something
been
interesting.
cool.
That's the
Okay.
thing. Is like, there's no way that they're just like straight covering this.
It
Taking
would
Back
have.
Sunday
It would have
song.
come out as some kind of like goth techno song.
Yeah, which is gonna be awesome. And like everyone, I mean, I think all of their reimagined songs and all of their covers have been like so excellent.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
That whatever they did was going to be great. And you know, I'm really excited to see what they do.
The reimagined
Taking Back
Bellyache
Sunday
is
song.
still like my favorite Patreon thing that they've ever
Which
done.
one?
Really, really good.
That's so good.
The reimagined what?
Bellyache.
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 Oh, yeah. I loved the one that's like givers and takers. Is it Stranger?
Sounds
Yeah, that one. I think that was my favorite. It was very moody and like dark. That one was really cool. And I loved when they did like Futures. It was just like huge.
Oh, Futures was awesome. Yeah.
Or massive.
But yeah, like Craig said, all the covers have been fantastic. The
Yes.
I Miss You was great, and I don't really.
I don't even like Blink 182.
Yeah.
My-
I don't
my-
like Blink-182
Not-
either.
Only
And I
issue
still-
with I Miss You is he didn't sing that one part out of tune. It's the only issue I have.
My problem is that you didn't sing this part shittily.
You were too good.
I told him that.
Good.
Because,
You
yeah.
were so on tune.
I told him that because the one part it goes, I miss you, and I'm so
I mean,
sorry. If you would have done that
that's an
part, and then just for
That's
the
an
rest of it.
iconic part of that
Yeah.
song. I do kind of agree with that.
But yeah,
I
the
do-
song was that was maybe my favorite cover so far. That one, that one is definitely in the conversation for favorite covers. I don't know.
I think it was the most surprising one to me, probably.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah,
I just can't. I can't hear that song without hearing the original. So to have such a different version of it is cool.
oh yeah.
Well,
I also really like their Killers cover. I know that doesn't get mentioned much, but that Killers cover is sick. It's so different. It's there. Jimmy World is a good cover. It's not my favorite because it's them covering Jimmy World, where the rest of it is Spanish love songs doing a version of that song. So, and that's what I've loved about all of these covers, except for the Jimmy World. And the Jimmy World's really, really, really well done. It's really well done, and I really
And
enjoy it.
I was
but-
gonna kind of like touch on that, and like there were songs on here that like definitely I wouldn't care if they covered because like I didn't have a lot of investment in it. So like whatever they did, they would have probably made it cool. But like if by some weird chance like I'm a loner, Dottie, I'm a rebel had one, like I would
right.
want a straight cover honestly of that one. I just want to
Yeah.
hear SLS play that song. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Or
I do
Violence.
That would
that.
be-
to the stream.
Yeah.
At that point, it's almost better that something I didn't care about one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, yeah. Like I'm excited to hear what they do with How I like that song, but like I bet they make a really cool version of it. Even if if it goes just like if they just go like straight for it, then
Yeah.
it'll be good. But
Well, that was
like,
my problem with the Bright Eyes song. Was I just didn't know where they were going to go with the cover for that.
there was a Bright Eyes song.
Yeah, got eliminated first round. It was awesome.
First round.
Yeah, who knows? That's way too deep of a
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
It was a good song. It's just I
Get
cannot
outta
stand
here.
Conor Oberst. He's
Get out of here.
kind of a jerk.
It lost to it's a loner Dottie. In the first.
Which was great. One of the best moments of the tournament. You were right, Andrew.
Stallman,
I
I
want
wanted to
to
say that that Bellyache cover is my ringtone of my phone, and I like
Oh.
I do actually have my ringer on a lot because like at work, people need to get a hold of me or whatever. So and it just comes in like it's great. Makes me
Shout
very
out
happy.
ringtones.
Yeah. I think I posted
Even in
it.
2006.
If anybody
Yeah, yes,
knows
that's
about
what I was
it.
thinking, exactly.
Yeah.
I totally ringtoned it.
What were you gonna say, Craig?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'll be honest. I didn't pay that much attention to the rules. Are the songs that didn't like the ones that lost? Are they out of the running for future covers?
No.
Or are they
No.
No, he just did a bunch, and I'm still thinking at one of these live performances he's gonna throw out a Motion City soundtrack cover. He may not be one of those, but I mentioned the fact that I was sad there was no Motion City soundtrack cover, and he didn't say anything about it. So I'm thinking that maybe it might happen. They were gonna get a Thursday cover.
Say there. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're out. I would say they're probably disincentivized at least for a while.
They're not going to be formally covered, I don't
Sarah,
think.
yeah.
I think they'll be covered on some of them. I think we're not done with the
Like
bands.
live stream.
They have done a rejected month before, so
Yeah, but he also mentioned that
There's a lot of rejected series.
he also
But yeah,
he also mentioned the fact that they're going to stop doing covers every month, just because
Yeah.
they kind of need to move on to something else, which is understandable.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Well, it's not just a lot of work. You just kind of you don't want to become a cover band, and that's what he said. And so I understand that.
In my
I
life.
want
you're way more
something-
connected than I am. I don't pay attention to this shit.
When we finally have like real shows again, I want them to like throw one of these in there just for shits and giggles.
I have to see Photograph. I just fucking.
I want
Oh my gosh, it'd be amazing.
There's just no question that.
I want them to
Yeah.
play like the day before Fest. At like we'll pay for the venue and him just play covers, like just of the reimagined cover or of the covers they've been doing. That'd be sick as hell.
Yeah.
That would be
That
so
would-
Anyway, I gotta drop off.
Yeah,
Okay, so
But it's been great doing this. Take care.
It's been fun.
we're gonna we'll do our final goodbyes, everyone. Yes, this was a lot of fun. Andrew was amazing. You two were amazing. I was fine.
Thank you for organizing, herding cats, recording us,
Yeah.
and getting everything together.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a blast. And like, I didn't know Lindsay. I knew you a little bit, but I didn't know you super well. And I've got to know you a lot better through this, and it's been
This has
awesome.
been fun. I'm sad to like not have this to look forward to. It has been fun.
Yes, it's been a blast. And like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do. Well, I'm working. I've got a photo book I got to work on, and also trivia.
You
But
need a project.
this is the last. And like, I don't know. I just think that them doing these kind of things that make everybody involved, whether or not there's a super big prize at the end, I think people get involved because people like to do stuff and have fun and get mad. I think people like to get mad, by the way. So, this is
Fun mad.
I like getting mad way more than I like having fun.
Oh yeah, that's why I go on the internet. This has been a blast, and I'm super happy they did it, and I'm really looking forward to the cover. And thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Jessica, and thank you, Snake, for everything. You have been amazing throughout this whole time, and the fact that you all have worked your asses off and done a great job. I hope you understand how much we actually really appreciate it, at least in this podcast, but also probably as a whole.
has Steak done much?
He's stirred the pot. He's kept people having fun and pissing people off. So I think that was his job going into this, and he's done it really well. But I just want to say thanks and happy birthday, Schmaltz. And there were,
Yes.
and happy birthday, Spiderland by Slit from Louisville, Kentucky, one of the most important albums of all time. But also specifically happy birthday, Schmaltz, because it's an incredible album, and I'm gonna have to go listen to it after this because I'm gonna go cry. I'm glad I got to do this with you all. Anybody else have anything happy and fun to say?
No.
Okay. Goodbye.
Rest in peace, Bracket. Peace out.
R.I.P. Bracket. March
Bring on
Dadness.
2022.